Welcome to Immortal News. Today, September 13th, we unite as a global community, pausing to remember and pay tribute to 13 luminous souls who have recently left us. Their indelible legacies have touched our hearts and enriched our world. We extend our deepest sympathies to their loved ones, friends, and admirers spanning every corner of the globe. In this heartfelt segment, aside from our devoted memorials, we also share updates on the well-being of Gogglebox star Amy Tapper and former One Direction member Liam Payne. We delve into the poignant story of the loss over Alaska, involving Eugene "Buzzy" Peltola Junior. Additionally, we've prepared a special tribute to the rap legend Tupac. Before we immerse ourselves in these narratives, we humbly ask for your engagement. A thumbs up signifies your support and connection, and if you feel moved, the thanks button is a testament to our shared reverence. Every gesture fuels our commitment to presenting these tales with the compassion and honor they so rightly command. From the depths of our hearts at Immortal News, we express our gratitude for standing with us in these moments of reflection. Number 12, Brandon Hunter, a basketball journeyman who conquered courts around the world. Brandon Hunter, an American professional basketball player renowned for his versatile career, passed away on September 12th at the age of 42. The cause of death has not been disclosed. Born in Cincinnati and a product of Ohio University, Hunter was a standout player who led the NCAA in rebounding in the 2002-03 season before being drafted 56th overall by the Boston Celtics in 2003. During his NBA career, Hunter played one season each for the Celtics and the Orlando Magic. While his stint in the NBA was brief, his basketball journey took him to multiple countries, primarily in Europe. He played for numerous international teams, including Panathinaikos in Greece and Carpisa Napoli in Italy. Hunter had the distinction of being the league's best rebounder in Italy's Serie A during the 2008-09 season. He even branched out to Uruguay's club Atlético Aguada for a period. Hunter's college accomplishments were notable, including joining the exclusive 2,000-point, 1,000-rebound club and ranking as Ohio University's best rebounder as of 2015. For his achievements, he was inducted into the Withrow Athletic Hall of Fame in 2017. After retiring from professional basketball, Hunter transitioned into coaching and worked as a real estate broker. He was also an NBPA and FIBA-certified sports agent and founded Hunter Athlete Management in June 2021. He held an endorsement contract with basketball brand and won, underscoring his influence on and off the court. Hunter's death is a loss not just to the basketball community in America, but to all the countries where he showcased his talents. His legacy as a basketball journeyman will continue to inspire aspiring athletes who dream of turning their passion into a global profession. Tribute to Brandon Hunter. Number 11. Perry Mans, the snooker maestro, who defined South African cue sports. South Africa's greatest ever snooker player, Perry Mans, has passed away at the age of 82. Known for his powerful potting skills and iconic waistcoats, Mans was a mainstay in the world of snooker from 1961 to 1987. His death is a significant loss to the sporting community, with heartfelt tributes flowing in from around the world. Perry Mans reached as high as number 2 in the world rankings and made it to the World Snooker Championship final at the Crucible in 1978. Although he lost to Ray Reardon, the very next year he claimed the trophy at the Masters. During his long professional career, he also won the South African Professional Championship 14 times, testifying to his unmatched skill and longevity in the sport within his home country. His memorable victory on the iconic TV game show Pot Black in 1977 further cemented his legacy, as he beat Doug Mountjoy 90-21 to entertain a large BBC Two audience. He was a versatile player, reaching both the quarter-final and semi-final stages in the biggest world tournaments, besides his Masters win and World Championship final. Notably, Mans was also one of the first high-profile left-handed players, inspiring a new generation of left-handed young players to take up the cue. His impact transcends beyond mere titles and rankings. It also lies in the inspiration he provided and the barriers he broke. A statement from Snooker and Billiards South Africa aptly summed it up. He will be forever remembered for his great snooker prowess in South Africa and on the pro circuit overseas. Mans leaves behind an indelible legacy, not just as a champion snooker player, but as a trailblazer for the sport in South Africa. Tributes to Perry Mans. Number 10. Mobad. A flourishing talent in Nigerian music silenced too soon. Ilerioluwa Aloba, popularly known as Mobad, was confirmed dead at the young age of 27 on September 12th. The cause of his death, which shocked the entertainment industry and fans alike, remains undisclosed. His untimely demise was mourned across social media platforms, with artists like Olamide and television host Frank Edoho expressing their sorrow. Mobad made significant contributions to the Nigerian music scene, known for his hit singles Ponmo, Feel Good, and Ko Porke with Rexy. He first gained attention with his 2019 EP Light, featuring artists like Davido, Naira Marley, and Lil Kesh, under the Marley & Records World label. However, Mobad severed ties with the label in 2022 after accusing founder Naira Marley of domestic violence. He subsequently launched his own record label, Immortalization, in November 2022. He was nominated 3 times for the Headies Awards in the same year, underlining his rising prominence. Mobad's career, however, was not without its challenges. An interview with Nigerian singer Bella Shmurda revealed Mobad's struggles with his record label and mental health, including a facing mental health challenge over label-related issues and treatments for hypertension. The details of his passing have not been publicly disclosed, but the void he leaves behind in the Nigerian music industry and among his fans is palpable. Known for his mature and rich voice, his loss is a bleak reminder of the pressures and invisible battles that often accompany fame. Mobad's impact on the industry was significant, and his potential seemed boundless. His life and career may have been tragically short, but his musical legacy will undoubtedly endure. Tribute to Mobad. Number 9. Howard Safir, a complex legacy in New York City law enforcement. Howard Safir, the former New York City police commissioner whose term was marked by both significant crime reduction and heated racial tensions, passed away on September 11th from a sepsis infection at a hospital in Annapolis, Maryland. He was 81 years old. Current NYPD Commissioner Edward Caban expressed the department's condolences, praising Safir as a devoted, dynamic leader. Appointed by then-Mayor Rudolph Giuliani in 1996, Safir previously served as fire commissioner before succeeding William Bratton to lead the NYPD. Under his leadership, the annual number of murders in New York City fell dramatically, from over 1,100 the year before he took office to under 700 the year he left. However, Safir's tenure was also marred by several notorious incidents that heightened racial tensions in the city. In 1997, Haitian immigrant Abner Louima was brutally mistreated by police officers. In 1999, Amadou Diallo, a man from Guinea, was shot and killed by officers who mistook his wallet for a weapon. And in 2000, Patrick Dorismond, a black man, was fatally shot during an undercover drug operation. While Safir's leadership did result in lower crime rates, these incidents raised serious questions about police conduct and shook community trust, leaving a complex legacy that underscores the challenges inherent in urban policing. His contributions to law enforcement will be remembered and debated for years to come. Tribute to Howard Safir. Number 8. Giles Broadbent, A Melodious Life of Innovation and Impact. Giles Broadbent, the internationally acclaimed violinist and co-founder of the unique ensemble String Fever, passed away at the age of 51 on September 13th. According to his family and associates, Broadbent had been ill recently, and his passing has left both his family and the global music community in shock. Educated at London's Royal Academy of Music, Broadbent's career was as distinguished as it was diverse, leading orchestras for West End shows like Sunset Boulevard, Phantom of the Opera, and My Fair Lady. He carved a name for himself early on, a self-confessed lover of musical diversity. Broadbent didn't just limit himself to classical pieces. He extended his artistic range to include movie soundtracks and rock classics. However, it was his creation of String Fever in 2003, along with his brothers Ralph, Neil, and cousin Graham, that truly captured audiences worldwide. The ensemble, known for their comedic performances and electrifying interpretations of classics, featured prominently in international venues, including Mumbai's Opera House and the Beijing Music Festival. Their best-known performance, Ravel's Bolero, was a stunning spectacle where all four members played on a single cello. In 2015, Giles and his brother Ralph received the Associate of the Royal Academy of Music Award, a testament to their significant contributions to the music profession. Beyond his musicianship, Broadbent was remembered as a kind and generous person, as the Storytelling Academy of Loughborough University highlighted, emphasizing his impact on the international digital storytelling community. He is survived by his wife, television presenter Diane Louise Jordan, along with their daughter and grandchildren. String Fever announced that they will be taking a break as they make funeral arrangements, marking a pause in a career that has delighted and inspired audiences around the globe. Tribute to Giles Broadbent. Number 7. Roman Chalbod, vanguard of Venezuelan cinema and theater. Roman Chalbod, an iconic Venezuelan film director, playwright, and screenwriter, passed away on September 12th at the age of 91. Born in Mérida and later moving to Caracas, Chalbod became a titan of the arts, recognized for his unique narratives that provided deep insights into Venezuelan socio-political culture. From his formative years, Chalbod harbored a passion for storytelling, inspired by European literature and cinema from his grandmother, and the captivating allure of Mexican films from cinema's golden age. He trained extensively, both at Teatro Experimental in Caracas and under the legendary Lee Strasberg in New York. Throughout his illustrious career, Chalbod wore many hats, from being a young television professional to leading the National Theater of Venezuela to presiding over prominent Venezuelan film and theater institutions. His profound contributions to both theater and cinema provided a raw, open treatment of dramatic plots, often critiquing the socio-political state of Venezuela. This made his works timeless and socially relevant even in the 21st century. Internationally recognized, Chalbod's films were regulars at film festivals, bringing Venezuelan stories to a global audience. He was honored with the National Theater Award of Venezuela in 1984 and the National Film Award of Venezuela in 1990. His life's impact was immortalized in the documentary Roman en el Universo de las Maravillas, showcasing his remarkable journey and indomitable spirit. Beyond his professional achievements, Chalbod remained a private individual, known to be tireless in his pursuits and deeply passionate about his art. He held firm political beliefs, aligning himself with Chavismo and viewing it as a reflection of Venezuela's true democratic essence. Tribute to Roman Chalbod. Number 6. Milan LeFevre, a spiritual force in Christian rock music. Milan LeFevre, Grammy and Dove Award-winning Christian rock musician, passed away at 78 from cancer complications on September 8, 2023. A member of the band Milan and Broken Heart, LeFevre was inducted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame in 2005. His music career began when he was just 17, penning a song that Elvis Presley later recorded. He collaborated with music giants like George Harrison and Eric Clapton in the late 1970s. LeFevre's life took a spiritual turn in 1980 after a near-fatal drug overdose. He committed his life to Christ, and his musical message shifted toward evangelism. His 1987 album Crack the Sky won both Grammy and Dove Awards and became a landmark in Christian rock. Over his career, LeFevre recorded over 20 albums and led more than 250,000 youth to Jesus. Despite facing an intense non-stop battle with cancer in his later years, LeFevre never wavered in his faith. He continued his ministry through the YouTube channel On the Road to Freedom, sharing the gospel to over 8,000 subscribers. His final album, Bow Down, released in 2003, was produced by his son-in-law and former Newsboys lead singer, Peter Furler. Tributes from well-known Christian musicians like John Cooper and Brian Duncan have poured in, reflecting on LeFevre's immense influence on the Christian music landscape. LeFevre leaves behind a legacy of music and ministry that has touched countless lives. Tributes to Milan LeFevre. Number 5. Eva Fahidi, a witness to the Holocaust and advocate for remembrance. Eva Fahidi, a Hungarian author and Holocaust survivor, passed away on September 11th in Budapest at the age of 97. Born into an upper-class Hungarian Jewish family in Debrecen, Fahidi was deported to Auschwitz-Birkenau in 1944, where she lost most of her family. She survived the horrors of the concentration camps and later became an advocate for Holocaust remembrance. After World War II, Fahidi worked as an industrial employee and rose to prominence in her professional life. However, it wasn't until 1989 that she publicly began to speak about her experiences during the Holocaust. She testified in trials against former concentration camp guards and took part in numerous initiatives to educate people about the horrors of the Shoah. Her book, Anima Rerum, published in 2004, became an important document of her experiences. Fahidi received the honor of becoming an honorary citizen of Weimar in 2020. She left a lasting legacy as one of the last survivors actively involved in Holocaust education and remembrance, sharing her hope that the horrors of the Holocaust must not and cannot happen again. Tribute to Eva Fahidi. Number 4. Dominique Colonna, a legend of Corsican football and beyond. Dominique Colonna, a Corsican football legend and former goalkeeper, passed away at the age of 95 on September 12th. Colonna began his football career as an amateur goalkeeper with US Corte and later gained national prominence playing for clubs like Montpellier, Stade Francais, Nice, and particularly Stade de Reims from 1957 to 1962. During this period, he also represented the French national team and participated in the 1958 World Cup. Colonna had an illustrious career with multiple achievements, including 4 French First Division titles, 1 Second Division title, a French Cup victory, and a finalist position in the European Clubs Cup. His football career was marked by 13 caps for the French national team and 381 matches at the highest level. Known for his assertive character, Colonna retired in 1963 but continued to contribute to the sport, notably as a coach in Cameroon and a technical advisor in Central Africa and Congo. In his later years, Colonna returned to his hometown of Corte, Corsica, where he ran the inn Auberge de la Restonica. Though his health had been declining, his legacy continues to inspire young Corsican talents aspiring to enter professional football. Tribute to Dominique Colonna. Number 3. Yvonne Prenosilova, the pioneer of Czech rhythm and blues and rock and roll. Yvonne Prenosilova, the Czech singer and radio host who was instrumental in popularizing rhythm and blues and rock and roll in her home country, passed away on September 11th in Prague at the age of 76. Born in Prague to Jiří Prenosil, a soldier who fought for the British Army in World War II, and Markéta, an Austrian, Prenosilova had a turbulent early life. Her father was imprisoned for a year following the communist coup in 1948. Prenosilova started her musical career at 15 and gained prominence with her Czech version of the Brenda Lee song I'm Sorry, which became one of the best-selling Czech singles of the 1960s. She performed in various European countries and even had a brief stint in the UK, where she shared a stage with the Rolling Stones. After signing the 1968 manifesto 2,000 Words, Prenosilova emigrated to the UK and eventually to Munich, where she lived for 26 years. She later returned to Prague, working for Radio Free Europe and hosting her own show on country radio. Survived by her son Max von Schuckmann, Prenosilova leaves behind a legacy of courage, musical innovation, and cultural exchange. Tribute to Yvonne Prenosilova. Breaking news. News 1. Gogglebox star Amy Tapper mutes social media, citing severe migraine and vertigo. Armchair critic turned Instagram darling, Gogglebox's Amy Tapper has hit pause on her usually vibrant social media activity, causing fans to raise their eyebrows in concern. The 23-year-old took to Instagram to break her uncharacteristic silence, revealing she's been grappling with a severe migraine and vertigo. The TV personality, who skyrocketed to fame on Channel 4's Gogglebox, has 79,000 followers hanging on to her every post. From her commendable weight loss journey to her candid life updates, Amy has been an open book. However, she recently alerted her followers that her current condition has her in bed, unable to lift her head off the pillow. Thankfully, Tapper assured fans that she's on pills and will be back soon, putting to rest the wave of concern. Still, for someone usually so present online, her health setback serves as a reminder that even our favorite stars aren't immune to life's curveballs. News 2. Liam Payne, the beloved 30-year-old former One Direction star, has been hospitalized due to a severe kidney infection while vacationing in Italy's Lake Como with girlfriend Kate Cassidy. A kidney infection, if untreated, poses grave risks, including irreversible kidney damage. The Mail Online highlights critical signs to watch out for, stemming from the most common precursor, cystitis, a bladder infection. Early warning signs include fever, a burning sensation when urinating, frequent urination, and back pain, especially around the rib cage. Other symptoms include cloudy or foul-smelling urine, sometimes even accompanied by blood. Women, especially younger ones, are more susceptible due to a shorter urethra. Although many symptoms mirror those of a UTI, the NHS stresses immediate medical attention, particularly when blood is present in urine. Thankfully, with timely antibiotic treatment, most patients recover fully within 2 weeks. Wishing Liam a swift recovery. Wishing Liam a swift. News 3. Tragic loss over Alaska. Eugene Buzzy Peltola Junior, husband to state representative, dies in plane crash. Fairbanks, Alaska. Tragedy struck Alaska's political and community spheres as Eugene Buzzy Peltola Jr., husband of Alaska State Representative Mary Peltola, died in a solo plane crash on Tuesday evening. The Piper PA 18150 Super Cub went down under mysterious circumstances near St. Mary's. Peltola, the sole occupant, had just dropped off a hunter in a remote area. The NTSB is investigating the crash that unfolded in rugged, mountainous terrain. Eugene "Buzzy" Peltola was a respected former regional director of the Alaska Bureau of Indian Affairs. 2 nearby hunters rushed to assist but could not save him. The tragic event has left elected officials and the community in mourning, prompting messages of condolence from Senators Lisa Murkowski and Dan Sullivan. The family has requested privacy during this difficult time. Now it's time to remember the legends who passed away in the past years. Number 2. George Wein, the godfather of modern music festivals. George Wein, the visionary behind the Modern Music Festival and the founder of the iconic Newport Jazz and Newport Folk Festivals, passed away peacefully in his sleep at the age of 95, according to a statement from his family on September 13th in 2021. Wein's immeasurable impact on the music industry began when he co-founded the Newport Jazz Festival in 1954, followed by the Newport Folk Festival in 1959. These events set the standard for outdoor music festivals in the United States and around the world. As a talented musician himself, Wein had the unique ability to understand artists on a deeply personal level. Not only did he introduce fresh talents to a national audience, like when Joan Baez brought a young Bob Dylan to Newport in 1963, but he also revitalized careers, as was the case with Miles Davis in the early years of the Newport Jazz Festival. Moreover, Wein orchestrated emotionally impactful moments, such as reuniting saxophonist Lester Young with singer Billie Holiday, enriching the cultural tapestry of American music. Wein's influence wasn't just limited to Newport. He expanded his pioneering festival concept to New Orleans, boosting the city's Jazz and Heritage Festival, and eventually spreading his revolutionary concept globally. Nate Cheenan, who co-wrote Wein's memoir, noted that his larger mission was to earn jazz the mainstream respect it deserved. In doing so, he helped establish jazz as an accepted American art form. Beyond his accomplishments as a promoter and producer, Wein was a friend to musicians and a lifelong student of music. He sold his company in 2007, but when the festivals faced bankruptcy 2 years later, 82-year-old Wein established a non-profit foundation to safeguard their future. He once said his real talent was making things happen, a modest understatement for a man who transformed the way we experience live music. Tribute to George Wein. Number 1. JeanLuc Goddard, the revolutionary vanguard of cinema. JeanLuc Goddard, a seminal figure in the French New Wave who revolutionized the art of filmmaking, passed away at the age of 91 at his home in Rolles, Switzerland, on September 13th in 2022. According to his family, Goddard had been dealing with multiple illnesses and chose assisted dealing with emotional pain, the scene in 1960 with his debut feature Breathless, which shook the foundations of traditional cinema. Featuring Jean Seberg and a then-unknown Jean-Paul Belmondo, the film shattered conventional narrative structures and introduced experimental techniques like jump-cut editing. Goddard continued to challenge the status quo with other iconic films like Contempt, Alphaville, and the satirical Weekend. The latter, filled with biting critique of middle-class materialism, premiered just weeks before France erupted in student and worker protests in 1968, a tumultuous period that Goddard himself participated in by leading a protest that shut down the Cannes Film Festival. During the 1970s, Goddard's focus shifted towards low-budget, politically driven films imbued with Marxist ideology. However, by the 1980s, his lens turned inward as he continued to experiment with the form and structure of cinema itself. Renowned for his wit, he famously quipped during a 1966 public debate about film narratives, "Yes, films should have a beginning, a middle part, and an end, but not necessarily in that order." A lifelong student of all art forms, Goddard's influence extended beyond his own films, impacting critics, directors, and audiences globally. The director once said, "My parents told me about literature, some other people told me about paintings, about music, but no one told me about pictures." Goddard leaves behind a legacy that fundamentally changed how we think about, critique, and create cinema. Tribute to JeanLuc Goddard. And Tupac Shakur, a revolutionary voice that echoes beyond the grave. Tupac Shakur, a defining figure in hip-hop and a luminary in the broader field of arts and activism, died on September 13, 1996, 6 days after being shot multiple times in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas. He was only 25 years old. Despite his brief life, Shakur's influence has proven indelible, transcending the borders of genre and medium to leave an everlasting imprint on global culture. Shakur was more than a rapper. He was a poet, an actor, and an activist. He released 5 studio albums, with posthumous releases adding to his musical legacy. Among his major hits are Dear Mama, California Love, and Changes, which remain anthems of resistance and introspection to this day. Shakur was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017, and even received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, highlighting the sustained relevance of his work. His East Coast-West Coast feud with the Notorious Big dominated headlines and perhaps overshadowed the depth of his work, including his advocacy for social justice. Despite the rivalry, Shakur had deep relationships in the music industry and beyond, fostering connections that remain impactful even after his death. The unresolved circumstances surrounding Shakur's murder have spawned countless conspiracy theories, but have done little to overshadow the tremendous impact of his life. His discography, selling over 33 million albums, coupled with an astounding 10.1 billion on-demand streams, testifies to his eternal relevance. Tribute to Tupac Shakur. As we draw this segment to a close, we're reminded of the threads that bind us all, the stories, the memories, and the legacies of those who've touched our lives. We invite you to join us again tomorrow, where we'll journey through the lives and times of 13 more luminous souls, whose lights have recently dimmed yet shine brightly in our collective memories. Stay connected with Immortal News for a deeper exploration of the stories that shape our world and our hearts. If today's segment resonated with you, we kindly ask you to share it with friends and loved ones. By doing so, you help to keep these legacies alive and cherished across the globe. From all of us here at Immortal News, thank you for your continued support and engagement. Until we meet again, let's remember, honor, and celebrate together.